Chapter 1. Luke and Jake. Luke Harrison sat at his desk and looked through the door into the next room. His secretary was preparing the room for the directors' meeting. Luke smiled. On the table, the crystal glasses and golden cigarette box were shining in the light from the lamps. There were red roses to go with the red velvet chairs. Yes, the directors would certainly have a comfortable meeting. The smile left his face. He wasn't so sure of the discussions at the meeting. His partner, Jake Fulbright, was talking to him from the other side of the room. There was anger in his voice.
Luke, wake up. The office looks good, doesn't it? Our company is going well, isn't it? Together we've done a good job, and how? By always doing what's best for the company.
It's no good, Jake. You're not going to change my mind. Our business is property, land, houses, and buildings. We became a great company because we gave the people what they wanted, and they paid us well. Now our city wants us, and for a good cause. We have to give them what they want, a children's home. There is more to success than money, Jake. There is pride and respect.
Stop that. Our city needs an office block, and big companies will pay us good money. Think of your family, Luke. Don't you want to do the best for your wife?
Jake took out a cigarette and lit it.
If you're so keen on doing the best for yourself, why don't you stop that harmful habit?
Luke hated smoking, and Jake hated being told what to do by anyone, even if it was his old friend and partner. The two men had grown up together and built their futures together. And together they had found riches and success. But in the past year, something had gone wrong between them. What was it? Luke wished he knew.
For goodness sake, Luke, listen to me. I'm going to fight you on this one. I'm going into that meeting, and I'm going to persuade those directors to agree to the new office building.
I'm sorry, Jake. You can't do that. We are the partners, they are our directors. They can't agree to anything if we don't agree. Those are the rules, Jake.
Rules are for losers. I'm a winner, and I take chances.
Jake banged his fist on the table. Then he looked directly into Luke's eyes.
He who dares wins, Luke, remember? And I dare.
It was an old saying that the two men had used in the early days of their business. They had used the saying to give each other courage. Now, Jake was using it to give him the strength to fight his own partner. Just then, the phone on Luke's desk rang.
Hello?
He heard his wife's gentle, loving voice.
Is that you, Luke?
Yes, darling. How's it going at home?
Fine. But what's the matter? You don't sound too happy.
Dear Megan. She always knew if something was wrong. But she must not know that anything was wrong between Luke and Jake. Luke tried to sound happier.
I'm fine, love. Just a bit busy. You know, usual Friday rush to get things done before the weekend. How are things at home?
Pretty busy here, too. Nathan has brought a friend home from school. Can't you hear them? They're playing upstairs. And I've got your favourite dinner, beef curry. Oh, it's nearly ready. So what time are you coming home?
Listen, Megan, love, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be late. There's a meeting this evening.
Oh, Luke, not again. Oh, darling, you've been working too hard lately. Try to get home and relax. We miss you.
I know, love. And I'll be home as soon as I can.
Luke put the phone down. He wished Jake hadn't been in the room listening to the conversation.
You leave that gorgeous wife of yours alone far too much. If she was my wife, I would never leave her side.
There was something about Jake when he spoke of Megan. A look in his eye and a strange tone in his voice. Luke couldn't explain why, but it made him very uncomfortable. But Jake was keeping a secret from his partner. Jake, the man with money and power, but without a woman in his life, was in love with Luke's wife. Megan knew nothing of this. She loved her husband, her son, and her home. Jake knew this, but Jake still wanted Megan.
And he who dares wins,
he told himself. The awkward moment in the office passed. Just then the intercom buzzed. Jake pressed a button and listened. It was one of the secretaries.
All 4 directors have arrived. Shall I take them into the conference room?
Yes, please. We'll be with them in 2 minutes. Well, Luke, this is it. They're all in there. And I'm going to persuade each one of them what is best for this company. Big luxury offices. That will bring us heaps of money.
Jake looked at Luke. He was daring him to answer. Then he picked up his cigarettes and walked out of the room. Chapter 2. The Accident. Jake was the first to leave the meeting. His face was red with anger. The directors had not agreed to the idea of constructing a new office building, but worse, they had refused to listen to any plan which both Jake and Luke did not agree to. He walked past the secretaries and out to his car. He didn't say anything to Luke because he didn't want to fight him. Not yet. He was going to try once more to change his mind. Back at Luke's house, Nathan heard his father's car coming. He ran to the front door.
Daddy, you're late. Come and see my model aeroplane. I've nearly finished it. Daddy, it's beef curry for dinner, your favourite. I'm starving. Are you? Can we go out on our bikes together tomorrow?
Hey, slow down a bit.
Hello, darling, at last.
Hello, my love. It's good to be home.
They all went into the living room to enjoy the evening together. The next morning, as they were having breakfast, the telephone rang. It was Jake.
Hello?
Good morning, Luke. Listen, I've got an idea. Why don't we go out hunting? It's been a long time since we went hunting together. Maybe we can bring a rabbit home for Megan to cook.
Luke was pleased that Jake was in a good mood, and although it was Saturday, Luke decided to go out with Jake. It was a chance for them to do something together as friends, just as they used to do in the past.
Good idea. Let's do it. We'll go in my car. I'll come and pick you up in an hour. I need to clean my gun first. I haven't used it for ages.
It was a glorious day, a perfect day for hunting. The sun was shining through the trees, the birds were singing. As they walked through the woods, Jake started talking about work and the office building.
Oh, come on, Jake. Let's forget about the office building for today and just enjoy ourselves.
Life isn't that simple, Luke. We have to pay for everything, even days out in the woods. That's why we can't afford to build children's homes, Luke.
Jake, I told you. The city needs the home, and we have almost promised we're going to do it. It's the right thing to do.
The right thing to do is what's good for us, not the others.
Oh, come on, Jake. Let's just hunt rabbits. Now, what's that I see over there? Looks like a nice, tasty dinner to me.
Luke picked up his gun, so did Jake. But Jake wasn't looking at the trees or the rabbits. The bullet from Jake's gun flew past Luke's face.
For goodness sake! What are you thinking of? You almost killed me!
I'm sorry. It was an accident. I touched the trigger by mistake. I'm very sorry.
Look, I think it's time we went home. We are obviously not going to do any serious hunting today.
Well, I didn't mean to do it. I said I'm sorry. If you want to go, then let's go.
The two men sat in the car and stared at the road in front. Neither of them spoke. Luke changed gear as they came into a narrow road. Jake looked down at the view across the hills and of the city below. Luke turned the steering wheel as they came to a bend. There, approaching them, was an enormous lorry on their side of the road. Luke shouted,
Get onto your own side of the road!
But the lorry driver didn't notice them. He wasn't looking at Luke's car. He was looking at the pleasant view below.
Move over, you idiot! Watch the road!
The tires screeched as Luke tried to move out of the way. But the lorry just came towards them. Luke turned the steering wheel again, fast. The car left the road and disappeared over the side of the hill. For a moment there was silence as the car flew through the air. Then came the crash. Neither of the men heard the noise or felt the flames as the car exploded. Their burnt bodies were thrown out of the car and onto the grass.